Welcome to Inferior Gaming, where after deciding today's topic, I forgot the name of every weapon ever used in a video game, ever. I'm Caitlin.
I'm Alan. They have names? Yeah, I spent most of my time being like, what is the name of this one? Does it exist? Am I crazy? Is it... It's been a decade. I don't know if this is real anymore.
So, what have you been playing this past 2 weeks? Because we took a week off recording.
Right. The new Final Fantasy mobile game dropped. It has a name. I can't remember.
Decidua or something?
Yeah, Final Fantasy Dissidia Duodellum or something like that. Made up Latin names. Part of the Dissidia franchise, I guess, which started out as a PSP fighting game, an arena fighter, that was a mess, and this game kind of reminds me of that. And then there was another gacha game on mobile, which I really loved, that was more of a turn-based style game, that it incorporated pretty much every character from every Final Fantasy, villains and heroes, in a huge crossover story that was super interesting. Sometimes very boring, but sometimes really good. And then this game is really, really beautiful. The netcode on it is great. I don't experience any lag or any problems. You have to play with 5 other players whenever you play, and you're 6 players in a big arena space, and it's 3 versus 3. But you can also cooperate, so the goal of every stage is to fight a classic Final Fantasy boss monster. These could be any number of high-level monsters. So the Iron Giant, the Marlboro, the Behemoth, things like that. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's other ones that I just haven't gotten to. And then you are some some classic character from Final Fantasy. So Lightning, Cloud, Terra, whatever. There's a bunch of them right now. They will come out with more. You get these through gacha mechanics, where you turn in tickets or you buy them. That's what they want you to do, is to buy them and then, unlock more characters, unlock outfits, unlock gear, blah, 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 blah. The game is hard to play, I find, on my phone. With or without a controller. The camera's not great. They want you to play vertical, which is it's bad because you have to run around a pretty big 3D space. You can cooperate with the competing team. That's actually what you should do in the game, but a lot of people don't play it that way. So you can fight against the competing team and kind of suck up their points when you kill them. Mm-hmm. But if you don't work together, you will not defeat the boss. And it's kind of how close you want to beat the boss but have more points than the other team is kind of the thing that you're going for. If you don't defeat the boss, then you don't get the big bonuses. It's kind of you wasted the match, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
So there's a balancing act that needs to happen. That provides some tension in the thing, but I haven't played any matches where people don't just try to kill each other constantly. And it's hey, we're trying to beat the boss, right? So I don't know. So that's annoying. There's no story at all that I can tell, which is really disappointing because that's what I like about that franchise. The Dissidia franchise is the reason why all these characters are interacting with each other.
Right.
It's just not there. And so I probably won't continue playing because the gameplay's frustrating, as good as it looks, and it's kind of fun. It's just the other people don't play the game in a they're frustrating the way that they're playing. So I don't know. Probably won't continue.
Square has said that this is sort of an attempt to bring in younger audiences to Final Fantasy. Do you think it'll do that?
I don't see how. I don't see how.
Okay.
Why would you play this if you don't care about these characters? You'd be oh, I can Cloud and Lightning can team up. there's cool moments where you're fighting the bosses and you have like ultimate attacks. It kind of reminds me of the Kingdom Hearts game that was like a card battler. I can't think of the name of it.
That's Chain of Memories, right?
Chain of Memories, yeah. So you have like a deck of moves. You're not like, it's not like turn-based, right? So you're like running around in this mobile game. You get up to the boss, and then you have like your deck of moves, and you can, like, you'll just hit them normally if you just stand there. You know, it'll just like chop, chop, chop. But to do like a super move, you have to like throw your card in the mix. So you throw your card in the mix, and then one of your allies throws their card in the mix at the same time, and the two of you like team up and do like a cool attack together, or three of you or all six of you can do a thing, and that's pretty cool. Like it's fun to watch, like, oh, there's Zidane, you know, from Final Fantasy IX jumping off of Cloud's sword and then getting electrified by Terra to like, then he punches the boss and you're like, whoa, that's awesome. But that's about it. Like, if you don't like Final Fantasy, you're not gonna like that. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, who is this monkey kid? Why does that guy have a big sword? I don't understand what's happening. I don't see how that would draw people into the franchise.
Yeah, I really wish Square would just like make a good Final Fantasy game. Mm-hmm. Like a mainline, and just make it, you know, good.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That would be a strategy.
I feel like that's their best strategy. Yeah, for bringing in new people. Make a good game.
Make a good game. It's very, very pretty, and it did make me think of that 2KXO game, that the League of Legends fighting game, and I was like, they should make that with Final Fantasy characters. That would be really fun to be able to like do a fighting game and pick from all of the Final Fantasy characters and like, you know, do like tag battles with that style of animation, like make the characters look like this. That would be fun. It would, and maybe you would get fighting game fans into Final Fantasy. I don't know. But they've never made a game like that. The closest they ever came to making a fighting game was Dissidia on the PSP, which is a real mess. What else did I play? I played a game.
There's some Final Fantasy characters in Smash.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There was a Final Fantasy fighting game on PS1. It's like has a German name called like Einhards or something like that. Einhez. I can't remember the name of it.
Interesting.
It's not great. It's like a early 3D fighter. It was cool to have like Cloud and Sephiroth and stuff like that, but I don't know. It's like everybody, if you play it for 5 minutes, everybody plays exactly the same. So it didn't have the kind of personality that you want to be like, these characters are distinct. I played a game on PS5 called Arranger that is fun. I just started it. I've had it for a little while. It went on sale. It was one that I had my eye on. The whole world is a kind of a puzzle, like, you know, those sliding puzzles with little tiles in real life, like not in a video game genre, but like, I don't know how to describe what I'm saying. The whole game is like that. So like when you move left or right, anything, like let's say that you move to the right, everything that is in line with your character will move to the right as well, on a horizontal plane. So if you move down, everything on the vertical up and down plane with you will also move down. And this doesn't seem to happen to anybody else in the video game world. And so everybody dislikes your character because it's like you come over to their house and then you like drag their dining room table out the front door, you know, because it's like that's the only way you can get out. And you just drag everything behind you, you know, in the same direction. It like there was there's somebody on a ladder trying to fix their roof, and then you have no choice but to move horizontally next to them, and then the ladder breaks and it throws them off the roof, and they're like, everybody in town hates you because you make a mess of everything. And so like this is how the story starts. The animation style or graphics or whatever is very cute. It's an intriguing like puzzles so far of like how to navigate from place to place with this mechanic, because you don't like fight things per se. You like, there was like a sword on the ground, and so I moved the sword into where the monster was, if that makes sense, and then when the sword and monster were on the same tile, it killed the monster. So it's like a puzzle game basically.
I feel like that's such an interesting idea of like the developers came up with this mechanic and now it's ruining this fictional person's life. Yeah, I like that a lot. It feels like the mechanic came first, you know, and then everything else was kind of built around it. It's a cool mechanic. I haven't played very much of it. I just wanted to like try it out because I have had it for a little while. In the same way, I also started, but just to see it, Final Fantasy Tactics, because I got it for Christmas and I have never loaded it up. So I was just curious, you know, what it looks like. And I was blown away by like the widescreen presentation, the voice acting, the graphics. The voice acting is real good. Yeah. It's all of it's great. It's really, really beautiful, you know, new version of that story. So that's very cool. And then played a lot of Persona, Persona 5. Yeah. And I am now, I think I've done all of the palace for the second boss, the painter guy, if you played Persona. And all I have to do now, like I know where everything is. I know how we're going to do the heist of the thing that he desires the most. But now we have to like get out of the palace and do what, like we make him have a strong desire so that the thing manifests. Send the calling card. I was like, it has something to do with a card, but she won't know what I'm talking about. That's exactly. I will know what I played this game 3 times. I will know what you're talking about. Yeah, I send the calling card to manifest their desire. So that's what I have to do. And the other guy joined the team. Yes. I don't know if you actually get a choice of what to call him. I called him Fox. Yeah. I like him. He's good. I don't know. It's a good He was probably my least favorite character. I like his story, but I felt like he was kind of done after you're done that palace. Like, I feel obliged to include him in the team, so I had to kick someone out, and I just felt really bad about that. And but it was the Skull Kid that I was like, okay, take a bench for this one. I was watching somebody like stream, not stream, but like they had previously streamed it, so I was watching the video. Yeah. And only because it like came up with my YouTube recommendations, and I realized it was gonna have my favorite part in it, and so I watched it, and he had a very appropriate reaction, and I'm really excited for you to get to that. Oh, okay. But it's literally in the final dungeon. It's like the end. The end. But it's my favorite part in Royal, that is, because I very clearly recall earlier on in the game asking myself, oh, I wonder if this will happen. And I don't want to ruin any single minute of this for you, so I'm being very vague. And then it just didn't happen for a really, really, really long time. And then at the end, I was like, oh shit, it's happening. And it was so good. Yeah, it's a lot of fun playing figuring out the dungeon, and I really like how the bad guy character is in real life, and then how he is in his own heart or head or psyche or whatever you're doing. Like,
The story is really good. Then there's that balance outside the world of like hanging out with people. I got a part-time job, but then I immediately like, they were like, okay, your first shift is today. And I was like, okay. And then I immediately went back to the palace instead of going to work. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get fired.
I don't think there's any consequences. You just sort of work whenever you show up.
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought. But I was like, I don't want to do that yet. I want to get further in the palace. Like, I want to push the palace as far as I could. And so that's what I did. But yeah, it's just everything about it. Like, it has such a good balance of all kinds of stuff to do. Like, it's not all dungeon crawl. It's not all social. It's not all character. There's like enough to like keep you doing stuff all the time, and it's all really entertaining and well done. So it's a great game.
Yeah, I've been thinking hard about starting a Persona 4 again for the third time.
Have you beaten it?
No, I've gotten about halfway through. And I guess I probably still have that save. Although, from what I've read, maybe I'm not halfway through. Maybe I'm like 1/4 through. It's a real big game. I might still have that save on my Switch 1. Get it to my, I don't know. I would, but my sister owns it on Steam, and we have a shared library, so I could also just start again on my computer, and I would probably just play on easy until I hit wherever I was. Because I really fucking hate that first dungeon. I've done it twice, and it sucks so much.
Is it harder? You feel like that game, like it's unfair?
The dungeons are like procedurally generated, so they're just less interesting.
Yeah.
Like they have different themes. Each one you do has like a different setup, but the levels are still procedurally generated. So they're just kind of boring. But yeah, no, that first one is just hard because you don't have everything yet. You know, you're not in the game, and there's no baton passing for. I miss it so much.
Mm-hmm. It's a fun mechanic.
Yeah. So and also if you go from playing Royal to playing 4, Royal has a lot in it that the original Persona 5 didn't have in it that makes it easier. Like, I think like there's another fighting mechanic that makes that go faster. I think you're given a bunch of money at the beginning that you were not given. A ton of money.
Yeah.
In the original. So you can buy a lot of SP and health stuff.
Yeah.
Which just makes dungeons so much easier. And Golden does not have that. You're just thrown in. And then there's this weird thing where it's not that I don't like the first 3 party members that you get. I've just seen their beginnings twice now. And I'm not a big fan of the acting with some of them. I like your guy best friend, but the girls kind of suck. And I like some of the later girls that you meet, which I hate saying, but...
Yeah, but you just want to get to the other part. It's like, I've done this. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair.
And it's not that the girls suck. I don't like the acting choices made with them.
Is that like...
I wonder if I can play in Japanese.
Yeah, that's what I was just asking you. Like, if you can toggle languages.
That's an interesting thought.
There are some games I play where you can do you can do individual characters instead of everyone. Yeah. That I always love that.
That's interesting. I was really upset when we did our Final Fantasy X episode and I just booted up the beginning of Final Fantasy X and you cannot play it in Japanese. Oh my God. That's so upsetting.
That's weird. Now that you say that. Yeah. Why can't you do that? Why can't you play it?
They didn't do it. I don't know.
That's weird.
I was upset because I know that there are some translation differences and I really wanted to do a playthrough in Japanese. Like I probably would have continued playing the whole game if I could have done it in Japanese. Nope.
Because I think you can do it in French, in German and stuff. Why isn't the original there? That's really weird now that you say that. That's really weird.
I don't know. I don't want to speculate. We didn't record last week because I was super busy and I've continued being super busy. So the only thing I have played is Pokemon Pokopia. I keep thinking, Final Fantasy VII, I'm still in that. I should boot that up and then I just go Pokemon. I did I did roll credits on Pokopia, which means I am
so
now...
you can beat it. Okay.
Technically, yes. There's still so much game, though, right?
Yeah.
I am now technically God, I think. I don't know. I can destroy and recreate the Pokemon world as I see fit.
Wow.
Pretty much. Like,
so
it's
instead of
time-consuming.
beating God, you can be God.
The game does not present it that way at all. I want to make clear. You do not ditto, like, what's the word? You do not transform into one of the God-type Pokemons or the legendaries.
The cosmic legendaries, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying at one point I was hovering over everything like I could destroy it all and remake it how I want. I'm like, I think I'm their god now. But no, the ending was extremely wholesome and really made me tear up. I don't know. There's something about the sadness. I watched a video on YouTube about this like months ago, and I have no idea who made it. But there really is something about a wholesome, cozy game that has a nice, like, sad undertone to it that just makes it so good. And the ending sequence was emotional. I don't know. It was really good.
Unexpected. That game does not look like it would have like an emotional punch at the end.
No,
so that's very cool.
It's so often now that people will complain about trailers giving away too much of either a movie or a video game. And the trailers for this game gave you nothing. Like, they looked like they gave you a lot of things. But then you get in and it's like, oh, we didn't even see 3/4 of the game. Like, just the areas. Like, in the trailer. The trailer was like, make a little fun home for you and your Pokemon friends. And then the game is like, make 5 homes.
Oh.
Plus, also, maybe the world ended.
Yeah, do you have any sense of that whole thing? Like, did the humans go somewhere? Like, you get answers on that? Interesting. So it has, like, lore to it and heft.
Yes. And the ending was just the right amount of... Like, I remember in an earlier episode, I said that I would not want the humans to come back in this game because that would completely change what the game is. And it has sort of like a... What am I trying to say? You don't... Like, the humans don't come back because that would be, like I said, a completely different game. But it's like you get a message to them, you know? So, it's really good. And it has a weird thing in common with Final Fantasy 15. Which is such a crazy thing to say. Where you get to choose a picture that you've taken throughout the game for, like, a big moment in the ending. Right? So you can choose a really great picture that you've taken with a group of Pokemon, or you can choose a selfie that you took of yourself with Psyduck sleeping in the background.
Right. I'm such a sucker for that kind of thing. Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm just decorating while listening to audiobooks, which I love. I left some Pokemon to finish some builds last night, and then I just went over to the volcano area and cleared ash for like 2 hours while listening to an audiobook. It was like the best gaming experience of my life, basically. It was calming, and there's so much ash to clear. Oh my god. I also used the ash to pay for stuff, which isn't going to make any sense if you don't play the game, but trust me, it does make sense. So it just felt like I was, grinding out money, basically.
Nice. I think I spent the whole day yesterday playing Persona, which is not a good use of my time, but felt really good because I haven't sat down and just played games all day long. I haven't done that in a while.
That's an amazing use of your time. What are you talking about?
I guess. It was very cool.
You got a job?
Yeah, I didn't, but I didn't go. It was very cool in that palace, dungeon, whatever, that it's like a museum, like an art museum. And then you get to the later part and it becomes this kind of Escher-esque space that is ill-defined. It's like there's stairs going to nowhere and they're making loop-de-loops and everything's made out of gold. And you there's all these fake paintings everywhere and you have to figure out which ones are real in order to progress. And it's very dreamlike. And I was like, man, this is just great. Like, it just felt good. And then the same kind of thing. Like, I'm getting all this money, and I went back out and upgraded everybody's weapons and armor and became completely broke, and then sold all of the stuff that I got in the dungeon and went back up to being halfway to where I was when I got out. And I was like, JRPGs, man, like that is the loop. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great game, and I'm excited to talk to you more about it once you get real into it, because you're still at the beginning, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
It's stupid large game.
You said about Persona 4, and you're like, I'm halfway through, or maybe not. I don't even know. It was one time we were going to talk about Final Fantasy on Hallowed Ground Storycast with me and Anya, and I was like, you don't have to play a Final Fantasy game. They're really long. Don't worry about it. And she's like, no, I want to play one so that I'm able to have a conversation. It's going to be really stupid if I don't do it. And I was like, okay, but I don't think you're going to.
Yeah, and that doesn't seem like her type of thing.
Yeah, and she played 7, and she's like, and she told me at one point, I think I'm halfway through the game. I just fell through the roof of this girl's church. And I was like, yeah, you're not halfway. You're not halfway through anything. That's the very beginning.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. She's like, but I've been playing for a really long time. And I was like, you haven't though. Like, you don't even understand what JRPGs are.
This is so wild to me, because when I've been playing 7 recently, that I remember thinking, man, this is all happening so quick, because I had just played, or not just, because my previous playthrough was the remake, and they draw out all that stuff.
Yeah. It all blows by you're like, you meet Aerith, like within 2 hours, usually, I would say. Like, you fall in the church and you're out of Midgar in under 10 hours. It's nothing. Blows by. Yeah, but to her, she was like, I've been playing for like as long as I would watch a movie. And I was like, yeah, it goes on forever. You're nowhere.
All right, let's get into it. Favorite weapons, which I implied at the beginning.
Yeah.
Why did we want to talk about this?
Because we got to talk
about
the way
that we come up with ideas is a mystery even to us. So there's no real talking about it. Or there's no real, explaining it, is what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm going to start because I put a Final Fantasy VII weapon on here, and we were just talking about Final Fantasy VII, and it's probably not the one you all are thinking about, because it is Masamune Sephiroth's sword. I like it way better than the Buster sword.
Interesting.
Unless we're talking about Cloud's sword in Advent Children, the one that, comes apart into pieces.
Oh, that sword is sick. I love that. That
one is sick, but it's not in a video game.
Yeah.
But I actually, my favorite thing about that one is that you don't see the full thing altogether until the end of the movie. So it was a genius way to make you wait for it.
It's such a smart way to include all of the swords from the original game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so smart. Yeah. A lot of people hope that multi-sword is his weapon in the third remake game.
Yeah,
that would be great.
That would be great, indeed. But Masamune, I just love because it's so fucking big.
It's huge. It's ridiculous.
It's over the top the same way that Sephiroth is over the top. You know, it really just is his weapon. I love that it looks more or less like a traditional katana. Katana?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
It has a real name. Like, it is based on it's not a real weapon, but it's based on a type of real Japanese weapon that I cannot remember.
I did the quickest of Googles. So this is not knowledge, right? This is Wikipedia. And Masamune was the name of a blacksmith.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
He's super
and I
famous.
guess he was kind of known for making swords like this.
Right.
Or that's what he did. He made swords. So named after this guy. If you're a blacksmith and people have made paintings of you back in the day, in the 1200s apparently, you were pretty fucking good.
Yeah, super famous.
People were not generally creating art of their blacksmiths.
There's a major quest line in Chrono Trigger where you have to make the Masamune.
Nice.
So it's like a very important part of the early game.
So, yeah, that's my favorite. I love his over the top. I love when he stabs Cloud with it. Like, I'm not saying I want Cloud to be stabbed. I'm saying it just looks cool. Even in the original, you know? Like, they did a really good job with that sword.
I think that comes down to, like, Nomura's classic design of those two characters, the way that they are so opposite, like Cloud and Sephiroth, just in their silhouette, the way they look. Like, you know, Cloud's sword is this huge, wide weapon, and his is, like, really slim. He has the spiky hair, Sephiroth has the long, flowing hair. They're just, like, very opposite in so many different ways, and the sword is a big part of that.
Yeah, their swords are foils the same way they are foils.
There's a lot of like lore that has come out about that sword from the mobile game lately that might get incorporated into the remake series.
Is that canon?
Yeah, it's canon.
But like, were they thinking of that lore when they made the original game? I suppose is what I mean. Because if they're not, then like you could argue that it's not.
Yeah, I don't know about that. There's like lore to the Buster Sword from Crisis Core, because that was Zack's sword, you know, and Cloud took it. And Zack did not originally have that sword either, and it was given to him by his master gave it to him, and his master's father gave it to him. So that sword has like a lineage to it, I guess is what I'm saying. That is like, there's something supernatural about that sword, actually.
The Buster Sword?
Yeah.
But doesn't it just end up rusting on a hill?
Yes. As like the marker for his grave. Yeah. And I think they want to invest the Masamune with a similar kind of spiritual...
I see.
...legacy, so that the two of them are like more, I don't know, like evenly, like they're more foil, like what you were saying.
See, that's interesting because I think it makes so much more sense for Sephiroth to be like, I made myself the best sword ever.
Yeah.
Your old sword cannot be as good as mine. I don't know about this voice that I've just assigned to Sephiroth.
Not Sephiroth. His original voice, yes. Yeah, I love that stuff. Give me lore, stupid Final Fantasy lore. I will be like, yeah, of course.
I love video game lore. It's fucking the best. Like, yeah. I was just freaking out about the Pokopia lore. Like,
exactly. Yeah, that's what I want. Give me lore and then stupid gameplay. I'll make it work in my head. That's the fun.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, the first thing that I picked is the weapon Soul Edge from the Soul Calibur series. And Soul Calibur... Yeah, Soul Calibur is a weapon also, so it's a little confusing. And the first game in that series is called Soul Edge, so again, confusing. But Soul Edge is the... I guess the thing around which the plot revolves. It is a weapon created by a famous Japanese blacksmith that is unnamed, probably Masamune. And he makes...
I just googled it. Sorry, it's cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the sword is just a normal, mundane sword, but it is used by violent men and kills so many people and bathed in so much blood and associated with so much suffering that it becomes cursed and then takes on a life of its own, a consciousness of its own. And whoever holds the sword at that point becomes like it takes over your mind. Kind of classic cursed sword lore stuff, right? And so in the first game, it's held by this pirate who found it, and it corrupted his soul. He has two swords that kind of balance each other. So he has like the good sword and the bad sword. And so he doesn't fall to its corruption, but he gets to wield all of its cursed energy, which makes him really, really powerful. But he dies, and when he does, then the soul edge is separated from the soul caliber, and so there's no more balance. And so for the rest of the series, this other character, this guy from Germany named Siegfried, who wields a Zweihander, which is much more like the Buster Sword that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Like a huge weapon, like a 5-foot long or 6-foot long sword. He picks up Soul Edge, and the weapon will change into whatever the person uses. That's one of the things that it does. And so it becomes this gigantic sword that has like a eyeball in it, and then it has like flesh growing all over it. That's what I love about it, is the eyeball. It's so creepy and weird. And the thing like talks to you and stuff, and it transforms Siegfried into a different character named Nightmare, who has a really cool design as well. So I just love the design of so the cool thing is, when you play the game, any of the Soul Calibur games, they have progression to them, and you can equip different weapons to every character, which changes the look. And some of the weapons are jokey, but other ones, look cooler or whatever. And all of them have a Soul Edge version of their weapon. So that, like, the guy who uses nunchucks, the girl who uses a staff. So there's like a Soul Edge version of every weapon in that game, which is a lot of fun. And then when you equip that, it makes you vastly more powerful, but your health is constantly going down because you are cursed. So it follows the lore in the game, actually, when you use it.
That's fun.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I've said before, I think that of the fighting games I've been forced to play by friends, Soul Calibur is my favorite because there's a story. Like, I liked the story that was there. Yeah. What Soul Calibur were we playing? I don't know, man.
Who knows? Did it have Yoda in it or Darth Vader?
No.
Because there is one of those.
No, this was like in between Star Wars being popular. You know what I mean? It was like probably while or just after the prequels were coming out, which nobody really cared that much for.
Well, that's why they were in there, was to promote the Attack of the Clones movie.
No, it would have been after that. It would have been when the third one was coming out.
There's one with The Witcher also, where The Witcher is in Soul Calibur.
Well, I probably wouldn't have known at the time. Anyways, my second weapon is the Gunblade. Awesome. Specifically, Squall's Gunblade. His first one is the one that I like the design of the most. Oh wait, does he get different weapons in that game? I don't think you do, because that's Final Fantasy VIII is so different than the rest of.
You just augment the weapon, right?
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, so I think your design is your design in that game. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you do upgrade the weapons.
I don't think there are different versions of the Gunblade, though. That's not...
Well, Cypher also has one in his...
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Anyways, I just think it's a really cool video game idea. I very specifically want to say video game idea, because obviously it is not a cool real-world idea. But the idea that you can shoot as you swing and do extra damage, I love it. I love that it's just kind of like this weird power fantasy of your weapon being everything. I think that's great. I do think it was poorly executed. I think they could have done so much more with it. In my head, we get a Final Fantasy VIII remake, and the Gunblade attacks are like Expedition 33 attacks.
Oh, that would be cool.
Right, where you gotta hit the buttons correctly and everything.
You do. There is a timing thing, isn't there?
There's a timing thing, yeah, but it's one button.
Yeah.
And it's pretty easy. It never changes. So as long as you're paying attention, which is not my strong point. At least while grinding, it's not my strong point, right? You're fine with it.
It's just extra damage. It's not like you miss if you
Yeah,
don't
no,
do
that's
it.
yeah, you don't miss. But it's a really cool idea, and I wish that they would do it in a modern game and do it better. Because I like it so much, but I don't feel like they reached the potential in Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
And I like that it's specifically seems to be these like soldier students that do it too. Like it's I like how it is in the story.
Yeah, it's not like everybody has it. It's like an elite special forces weapon. Yeah. It's very distinctive. I think they did make, neither of us played Final Fantasy XIV, but I believe there is a job class that you can do where your primary weapon is a gunblade. I don't know how it works at all, though. Because I
think you can do the first campaign in 14 for free.
Yes.
I think about that sometimes.
Yeah.
But
That game is...
MMO.
It's been completely redesigned also that you can play it single player.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But I don't have the time
get attached,
to play that
though,
game.
you know, because then I would give them money, and
Yep.
I don't want to do that.
I loved my time with Final Fantasy XI. I just don't have time to play Persona, let alone that huge game. That game is like hundreds of hours, not 100 hours. Yeah. Gunblade is very cool. I guess I'll keep it in Final Fantasy. Well, you talked about Sephiroth's weapon, you talked about Gunblade. I thought of the Ultima weapon that Cloud has can have at the end of the game if you beat Ultima weapon. Mm-hmm. Which is like a, optional boss. I think it's the flying boss. I just always loved the design of that sword, how it's tied to your health. And so like the sword, I mean, it's a massive sword because that's what Cloud does.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's like a kind of like purplish core to the sword that looks like the Buster sword, but like a really, really short version of it. Or I guess like just a normal sized sword, like 2.5 feet long looking weapon. And if your health goes down into like, I think into the 10% range, the entire rest of the sword kind of fades out, and all that's left is that normal sized sword, and your damage goes down by the same percentage. So like it does 100% of its damage when your health is 100%, and it does less and less damage the less healthy you are.
Yeah.
And I'm always a sucker for that kind of thing. Like I remember in The Legend of Zelda when I was a little kid, and you would have your full heart containers. So like if your health was full, whether it was like 3 hearts or whatever, then your little sword would shoot an energy beam sword, across the screen. And I was like, that is the fucking coolest thing that's ever happened anywhere. Like, that's amazing. So anytime you get a reward for like your health, I even like it if the reward is like your health is really low, and so this thing hits harder. I like that too.
I am not a big, I don't know. I'm iffy on having my damage tied to my health.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't like to play that game.
I like the gamble of it. Yeah, that's what makes it fun for me. Is like the gamble of it. That's what I like.
But like I'm also not necessarily. I guess I worry less about remaining at full health, or I don't want to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Except that I don't know. It depends. Because in some fights, you have to be at full health, or you're just gonna die.
Right. This sword specifically changing its look dynamically was just one of those things that like just blew me away when I originally played it. That the game could keep track of that, and it was just one more of those things. Just like, wow, this game is just different, And it's just always, I would just always thought of that as one of the coolest swords in any Final Fantasy game for that reason.
You having said, let's keep it in Final Fantasy, made me realize that 3.5 of my weapons are Final Fantasy.
I like the half. I get what you mean.
It's not, but it is, and I guess that's the one I'm going to talk about now, which is the Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts, which I just think is a real cool idea.
So good.
I was trying to pick out a favorite, and apparently I am remembering a Keyblade that does not exist.
Cool.
Because I have just, while you were talking, which is why I was only kind of half there, gone through a list of every single Keyblade in the games, all of the games, and the one in my head is not there. But I swear there was like a viney plant one. Like there's the pixie petal, which kind of comes the closest, but that's not at all what I was picturing in my head. So maybe I just saw some fan art one time and got attached.
There's a Beast and Belle one.
No, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. Like maybe Kyrie had it. Maybe that's
oh
what it
yeah,
was.
hers is different, and it does kind of look like a flower, kind of.
But I don't. It's not. It's not what I had in my memory.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't know what I was thinking, but the Keyblade is one of those. I don't think I've ever seen a weapon come together with the themes and the story quite so well as the Keyblade does,
Mm-hmm.
They really cooked with that one, as the kids would say.
It is exactly that, because it is so, I don't know, man. It's like one of those ideas, like the lightsaber or something, that it's just like, oh shit, like a key as a weapon is such a key as a sword is such a cool idea, but then it also does that magical thing, especially in the first game. I feel like they get away from this as the series goes on, of like literally unlocking worlds or locking them, and that was like really mind-blowing to me, that I was like, oh man, it's not just for like hitting people with, like it has it's like a magical item kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I love the sound design that they gave it.
Mm-hmm.
Which maybe that's a weird thing to fixate on, but the sound design of specifically the fighting, but like everything in that game, is just real good. It's really good. And it feels different than any other video game, even though you are technically just in like an action RPG type of thing. But because of the sound and the it's so different. And I love it a lot. And I did just pull up Kyrie's Keyblade, and that's kind of what I was thinking, but I was thinking of it like green. I don't know. I must have seen like a cosplay or something. And
when you said it, I could like picture it. There's so many Keyblades.
There's a lot, yeah. It's hard to choose a favorite, but I do. This is so stupid, but I think I just love the original one.
It's solid. It's really, really good. Yeah. It's a great design.
It's so simple, but so clear about what it is and what's gonna be going on.
You're not like, it's simple and clean, because you won't say it. You won't do it.
I honestly, I wasn't even thinking that, but that is funny how that happened. Yeah. I do also enjoy the Gullwing just because of its connection to Final Fantasy and the Gullwings and stuff. I think that's really great.
That's one of those, if I remember right, that is tied to your health. I think the lower your health is, the more experience it gives you, if I remember right.
Because it greatly increases the amount of experience gained when defeating an enemy at a critical moment. Increases the amount of experience gained by 100% when defeating an enemy at a critical moment.
Yeah, I think if you're in critical status, so you're like, your health is, low enough that the alarm is going off and stuff, then you like get double experience basically. Because I used it a lot, if I remember right. So it was kind of
alarm.
Like, yeah.
I'd forgotten about the alarm until you just.
Yeah.
Oh man. But in general, I like the Kingdom Hearts 2 designs better. Surprise, surprise! It's my favorite of the series.
Me too. I think they're better. Yeah.
I think they really did a good job there and took the ideas from the first game and were like, "Wait, we can go crazy."
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
And he can also dual wield in that one, so you can get some really cool combinations in his hands with the different keyblades. And then I like in Kingdom Hearts 2 as well, you have final form because he like changes, into different versions of Sora or whatever. And
yeah, I don't remember the intricacies of that, but I know it was pretty intricate.
Yeah, well, when he changes into final form, yeah, I don't remember anything about it but this. When he changes into final form and you're just walking around, whatever keyblades you have are just like floating behind you. And then when he goes into combat, when you hit the button to like hit something, they fly into his hands like he's a Jedi or something. And then he starts, and I was like, that is so cool. It's just like, I don't know. It feels very Nomura to me to be like, I want my, my swords to be floating next to me until I hit somebody with them. It's great. It's great.
I also, my like biggest memory is eventually you unlock a form that gives you glide. And that's all I ever want in a video game is the glide ability.
Yeah, that glide is a lot of fun.
I don't think I walked down a single set of stairs after I unlocked glide.
Yeah. Yeah, you can feel that series is made by an artist because of all the different, it's just like, I'm just going to design a million Keyblade designs. And the other thing that I really like about the Keyblade, since you're just talking about them in general, we keep talking about lore, is the idea that not everybody can have a Keyblade, and that the people who do, like, there are Keyblades for specific worlds in kind of the way that we're saying, but there's also Keyblades for specific people.
Yep.
And like, that is your Keyblade that's tied to your heart. And so its design kind of says something about you. And so I've always liked that idea as well. A weapon that is somehow like symbolic of you as a person is an interesting idea.
This is only slightly related, but I feel like this is what a lot of modern video games are missing. And that's like a level of cringe.
Yeah, man. Like, just go for it.
Like, there's something about Kingdom Hearts that is extremely almost saccharine and cringy that way. But it works. It's so good. There's, like, friendship is the answer in that game.
It really, literally
and I like
is.
it. Friendship and, like, being true to yourself. And they really made it, at least the first two, they really made it Final Fantasy plus Disney. And they didn't shy away from the Disney.
He super leans into it. Yeah.
But also, like, early Final Fantasy games are also like that. They're also like, friendship are what's going to get us through.
Oh, yeah. They're very shonen influenced. I feel like it's a team of friends who won't give up no matter what.
Yeah, I love that shit. Give me the cringe. Give me love is the ultimate weapon. I don't know. I love that stuff.
That's like the end of Kingdom Hearts where he points the Keyblade at the moon that's in the shape of a heart, and then it unlocks the moon because of his love for Kairi and his love for Rika. And I'm like, oh my god, this is the best fucking thing ever. I'm way into that. Way into that.
I'm not saying anything because you literally just made me emotional. I haven't thought about that in a while.
Yeah. The heart-shaped moon really gets me every time. I'll just roll with mine because it's a Keyblade. Decisive Pumpkin is my favorite design.
Pumpkin. I do love that name. It's so good.
It's so good. I don't know what it is in Japanese. I feel like it's one of those weird translation things that like just accidentally comes up with the coolest name. It's not a pumpkin. It is a candy cane that's all twisty and Tim Burton-y weird because it comes from the Nightmare Before Christmas world. But I think it has pumpkins on it though. Don't they? Yeah, in the handle.
I just looked it up. Yeah.
I think the mechanic in Kingdom Hearts 2 is actually that they all have what's it called? Like the end of the Keyblade has like the little chain thing.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting what this is called now.
A keychain.
Like a keychain. Yeah. It's a keychain. And you put that on the Keyblade and it transforms the Keyblade's look and capabilities. So all of them are Sora's Keyblade technically, but they just are augmented. Anyway, I think that Keyblade looks sick. It's just a cool Keyblade. I don't care about its abilities or anything. I just like the look of it. It's purely superficial. And I guess like honorable mention in that category for me is Oblivion, which I think is in the first game. I think it's maybe in all the games. It's basically Riku's Keyblade, right? It's like evil Riku's sword, and it just looks very, very cool. It's a very like dark, it looks like it's made out of lava or something, you know, like obsidian shards, and it's very rounded. Just like a cool sword. And I think Sora picks it up in Kingdom Hearts 2 from Riku to fight Xehanort. You know, like he picks up Riku's sword, and that is like also a big moment. I keep saying sword, but you know, like his Keyblade.
His key. God,
there's
I
also
don't
like,
want to replay all the Kingdom Hearts games.
it does make you like wanna, yeah. There's also a Keyblade. I'm pretty sure this is true. That is like a reference to Soul Edge. There's a Keyblade with an eyeball in it. I think Xehanort's Keyblade has an eyeball in it, and it's like surveilling all of Organization 13 for some other uber bad guy that we haven't met yet, and is supposed to be the bad guy in Kingdom Hearts 4. So there is an eyeball Keyblade.
You know, that's smart. When Kingdom Hearts 4 has an actual release date, I will replay the 3 main Kingdom Hearts games and watch a sum up of the rest.
Yeah.
And finally do
so
the
much.
DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Much. Oh yeah, I haven't done that either.
Which
People say that
apparently
it's good.
has the Final Fantasy characters that game was fucking missing.
I hate that they're not there.
That so much. They had stories.
Yeah. Yeah. It sucks. Yeah. But anyway, I think there's a whole thing of, I think Nomura's salty about Final Fantasy because his Final Fantasy got ruined. But anyway.
Oh, yeah. Okay. My next one, you're done with Decisive Pumpkin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A sentence that's never been said before is I really like the 2 swords in Witcher. I don't think any particular sword is like the main design or whatever. You know, you just upgrade your swords as you go about the world. I just love the way it looks, having 2 swords strapped to your back as you wander around. I've been told that you would never actually do that in real life, and it's very impractical, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
And I've always been really appreciative that, I don't remember what it was in 2, but in 3, he will just pull out the sword needed for whatever you're fighting. You can switch if you need to, but if you approach a monster, he will just automatically pull the silver sword, and if you approach a human, he will just automatically pull the steel sword. And I appreciate that game design.
Yeah, that's not true in the other 2 games at all. Yeah, you could absolutely pull out the wrong sword, and I often did. Yeah. So that's smart. That's one of those like improving your life kind of things. I wonder if you can turn it off. You probably can. For the hardcore, like I'm a real Witcher player.
Like
people.
It definitely gives you the, you know, push left or whatever for this sword and push right for that sword. But I immediately forget that. So I was always so thankful that he would just draw a sword. I'm like, hope that's the right one.
But he doesn't carry 2 swords for cool points, you know, like it is practical. I get what you're saying that like in real life it would be dumb, but he does do it for a good reason.
I specifically mean how they design it.
Oh, okay. Like on his back and stuff?
Like it would just not be great for pulling out a sword.
Yeah.
So I have seen historical people say, I don't know. I know nothing about swords. But that it would make more sense to have them lower down. I don't know. This is what I have heard. I am just parroting possibly incorrect information. I know nothing about swords. I just think the way that they do it looks cool to have them both over his shoulder that way.
It's super cool. It's a great
Nobody
silhouette.
else carries around 2 swords. I have no idea. That's probably not true.
Yeah.
I don't know what people do in other video games.
No, it's just, it's the Witcher thing. Like, that's
yeah, it's
thing.
very distinctive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very cool.
All right, what's your number 2?
It is the thing about that series.
Although you're probably not counting yours down the way
I'm not. I'm just
down.
like, it's all just vibes in the conversation. So I have one from Elden Ring, which was what my initial playthrough build was, and every build that I've done since then has been less fun than this build. So I basically built a rogue style character, like a thief kind of person who has to get in real tight, who will pepper you with arrows from a distance and then get in real tight with a dagger to do massive backstab damage, was kind of the concept. And there is an organization within the game called the Black Knife Assassins, and you can get one of the black knives and make that your weapon, and it's such a cool weapon. Like, the design of the actual dagger is very cool, and its capabilities are really cool. So when you hit somebody with the black knife, it puts a magical effect on them that like saps their life by, I think it takes 10% of their life away by, like, how can I say this? Like, you hit them once and it takes away 10% of their life, and if you back off, you can hit them with, like, you can charge up the sword and like throw an energy wave at them, kind of a thing. And if you hit them with that, it will take off another 10%, but it doesn't do it all at once. It's as if you're poisoned, but you can't get rid of this effect. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. It will take away that much life from you, and you can stack it 3 times on somebody. So you can take like 40% of their life off if you hit them with, 3 times in a row with the wave, and then hit them with the dagger up close. So it's pretty powerful in that way. And then just the lore behind it is really cool. It used to be part of the Rune of Death that God threw out of, because she didn't want anything to change anymore or decay. And so she took the Rune of Death and sealed it away. And then this group of women stole the Rune of Death and turned it into a bunch of daggers. And that's what they use to kill people. It's fucking sick. And you have to fight one of them, and then that is how you get a black knife. And so I just went around in the Black Knife Assassin armor with their weapon and killed God eventually. It's,
as the Japanese are wont to do in their games.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
I guess I was just editing our RPG as genre episode, and we mentioned, Souls-likes being JRPGs, and I was like, well, if you kill God at the end, I guess that's like the number one JRPG thing, right?
Right. Do you kill God? Yeah. Okay. You're in.
Somebody should make that website. I just list all the games where it's a yes. My number one video game weapon is also a Final Fantasy. Jeez, we should just be a Final Fantasy podcast. It's Lulu's weapons from Final Fantasy X because they're stuffed animal. And like, she fucking wrecks with those things, Like, I love them so much. I love how in her most powerful spells, they will jump down from her arms and do the action with her.
Oh yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
It's so good. I hate that because you can, what's the word? You can like add abilities and stuff to weapons in Final Fantasy X. And when you add and it'll change the way the weapons look. Mm-hmm. And so no matter what I do at the end of Final Fantasy X, if I don't have Lulu's ultimate weapon, which I never do because you have to dodge the lightning 200 times, she always ends up with a cactuar when I put the abilities on it that I want, and the cactuar doesn't do the motions the way the Moogle and the Tonberry will.
Right, because he can't move.
Yeah, because he just does a little spin, and
Right.
I'm like, I want a Moogle. Why can't I have a Moogle? Why can't you just look like a Moogle but have these abilities? That's all I want. It's my biggest source of pain in that game.
I think her ultimate weapon is like the hero from Final
It's the
Fantasy
Onion
3.
Knight.
Yeah. It's the Onion Knight, yeah. It's
But
the
I never-
default knight from Final Fantasy 3, yeah.
But I never use it because of that light and dodge thing.
Yeah. It doesn't, I think you can also tell it to like, if you pick, you should never do this, but with Lulu, you can pick fight and it'll go over there and like your Moogle will like punch someone.
Yeah, she sends it over and it hits. It's so good. It's so good. I love a super powerful mage using a stuffed animal to channel their magic. Please, more of this. It's so cute and ridiculous. And when she casts Ultima, it's amazing.
It feels very voodoo doll to me. Like it's, like a possessed voodoo doll that she's doing.
I guess. To me, it just seems like somebody had a silly idea and they ran with it.
Oh, it's the best. Yeah. To have all the little Final Fantasy creatures as her weapons is brilliant.
It's great if you're fighting a Tonberry too and you send the little stuffy
And you send the Tonberry.
over.
I've definitely done that. Yeah.
So good. That's my number one. It brings me so much joy.
Yeah, they're great. For my last one, in Halo, you could get this. So in Halo, there's two sets of weapons. There's human weapons and there's the alien weapons. I like all of the alien weapons more than the human weapons. And the coolest one, I think, is the gravity hammer, which has this stupid idea that there's like, you have a big like battle hammer. So, it's like 5 foot long with a huge head on it. And then inside the hammer is like a black hole. And so when you, or like, like a miniature singularity or something. So when you hit somebody with it, it creates this massive gravity shockwave that does all kinds of weird ragdoll shit and like throws things in the environment around in unpredictable, chaotic ways. So like that's what's fun about it, is the ragdoll of the bad guy just like flying across the screen and getting snagged in a tree, or like all the cars flip over and burst into flames and stuff like that. That's what I like about it. It's a very annoying weapon for the enemy to have, because like it's hard to get close to them, and like when in that game when you kill someone, they fall down dead and they drop their weapons, but anybody can pick up any weapon at any time. And so you try to rush over to get the hammer, but then some other like alien guy just scoops it up and comes back at you. So it's like whenever you get one, it's like, yes, I have the hammer. It feels so good when you get it. And then I guess honorable mention from that would be the Needler is also like a super cool, I think that's like the iconic Halo alien weapon, where it's like this really silly idea. So it's like a pistol that has these shards of glass looking bullets that are poking out of the back of the thing. And as you shoot the needles at your enemies, they're kind of like falling out of the back of the gun and into the gun. So when you're out of bullets, it just looks like a regular pistol. But then when you fully load it, all of these like spiky crystals are coming out of the back. And then the crystals, when you shoot them, whatever you were targeting, it will kind of heat seek them. I don't know how else to say this. Like it tracks the target. So it'll kind of bend around corners and stuff. And then it doesn't do any damage when it hits the enemy. But the more of them that you get into the enemy, after 3 seconds, all the shards explode simultaneously. And so you can create a really chaotic chain reaction where you hit an enemy with like a whole bunch of shards, they explode, the grenades that they had on their body explode, exploding the grenades of the nearby allies of theirs, and on and on and on. So you can like take out a whole squad of people by blowing up one dude with this, these glass slivers, which is
nice.
Fun.
Nice. I also had a couple honorable mentions. I wanted to mention another Final Fantasy X. Waka throws a ball, which is so stupid. It's great.
It's the best.
I guess
dumb.
It's so dumb because I guess he's just sports.
He loves
to the
that
point
game.
That his position as a guardian, he's just like, I need my ball.
And then you have different balls that have different...
some can have blades.
It's so
that seems
stupid.
like it's against the rules of the game.
And very dangerous.
Yes.
So, like, what if you kicked it in the wrong spot,
Yep. Yep.
The very best thing about the Waka thing, like, this is what I was going to say earlier. There's, like, at one point you are on a ship and you fight Sin, and and you can't, if you have characters who can't hit stuff in the air or far away, then you can't hit it because it's way out there in the ocean. And so you have Waka on your team, and he throws the ball like it feels like 100 miles. Like it just goes so far away.
When you fight Sin on the airship, there's definitely times where you have Waka throw the ball. It goes forever and then does like 1,000 damage, and you're like, how? That makes no sense.
And then it bounces right back to him.
Yeah,
it just makes no sense. It's
so
good.
Stupid.
I love it so much.
No, I love it. It's so stupid. It's great. That's another one where somebody had a stupid idea and everybody was like it must be, and everyone was like, no, let's do it.
That one is so weird.
Mage staffs. I love a good mage staff. Not a short wand, but a tall staff.
A big old staff, yeah.
I love that shit. Edgar from Final Fantasy VI. I feel like sometimes you go to a store, you see a piece of garbage listed, you buy it, you give it to him, and then he just kills everyone on the battlefield. I don't understand how he works, but I love him.
Yeah, his tools are pretty cool.
Yeah. And then in Dragon Age Inquisition, you can find a big wheel of cheese and equip it. And you equip it, and it's a shield. And it's not technically a weapon. That's the only reason it didn't make it into my top 5, because it's a shield. But I love it. I remember there were times when, like, I was talking about it with my friend who's really into Dragon Age, where, like, you're not looking at the picture, or in fact, sometimes the picture of the weapons when you're equipping them just didn't even load, because Dragon Age is a little janky.
Yeah, it's pretty janky.
And so you're just looking at the stats, right? And you're like, okay, good stats. You equip it, and then you're fighting later, and you're like, wait, is that cheese? Is that a cheese wheel?
Did it have good stats? I don't remember. I remember it.
It depends. It's open world, right? So it depends when you find it.
Yeah. Oh, true. Yeah, I forgot that's how the stats work in that thing. They're tied to your level. That's funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
When we started out doing this, I had like a bunch of jokey ones that I wrote down, but the more that I worked on it, those kind of fell away. I do enjoy that stuff. And there are like, the third Saints Row game is so much fun for that reason. Like all of the crazy weapons and shit that you can get in that game is so great. I almost put, that was what I started out with, was Saints Row the third weapons. It's so good. They were like, I don't know if you've ever played any of those games.
I have not.
Yeah, they're like a Grand Theft Auto knockoff, but then they kind of like leaned into it in the third game and were like, actually, we are the parody movie of Grand Theft Auto. And it was the best choice ever. There's a gun in that game that when you shoot somebody with it, they start doing dubstep dances. It's the best. It's so stupid. Yeah. And then there was other jokey weapons that I thought about. Like in Final Fantasy IV, there's 2 great weapons where So there's a guy in Final Fantasy IV who his wife is like a nagging wife. Not a great trope, but this is what it is, you know. And he's like an adventurer. He's like a karate dude going on adventures in the world. And she's always like, you better be home on time or else. And then she gets out a frying pan and will like bang him on the head. That's their thing. That is their love, I guess. Is the abusive relationship. But at one point,
that's very Japanese, I feel, or very anime at any rate.
It's super anime, especially this, like you're talking like 93, 94.
Yeah.
So at one point, this guy falls into a coma, and the only way to wake him up is to get the frying pan and hit him in the head. And that wakes him up, which I really like that. And then if you do that, you don't have to do that. It's like a secret. If you do that, you get to keep the frying pan, and it's a throwable weapon, and you should not use it until the end of, like, against the final boss, because it does 99999 damage, which I love. And then the same thing from that guy's kitchen, you can get a spoon from his wife, and that also does 99999 damage against the final boss as a throwable weapon.
Amazing.
So, I love shit like that.
It's fun. If you have favorite weapons that are not from Final Fantasy, please tell us. We need to expand our horizons.
Do they exist? Are they?
At least I do. You have a couple. But you can reach out to the show on Blue Sky at Inferior Gaming. And you can follow me on Blue Sky at Inferior Caitlin.
Send an email to inferiorgamingpod@gmail.com. Or you can go to the website hologroundmedia.com and fill out the contact form.
And remember, Keyblades just are the best. I love them.